So we're deep into uncharted territory here. We have the UK willing to break international law, even admitting to doing so. We also have the EU telling Britain to drop its plans by the end of the month, or it will face financial and trade sanctions. Lawyers for the EU have concluded that the UK have already breached the withdrawal agreement by the fact that they are tabling this controversial internal market bill. The EU met on Thursday with Michael Gove in London, and the European Commission Vice President said that Boris Johnson needs to regain the trust of the Europeans if he is to have any chance of getting a post-Brexit trade deal. We're truly looking at the prospect of both trade and security talks collapsing, and that would be replaced by a vicious legal battle between the EU and the UK. Boris Johnson's argument is that he needs this new bill in order to safeguard peace in Northern Ireland. The EU have said he's actually putting the Good Friday Agreement in jeopardy by introducing this bill. The Prime Minister's excuse for introducing this bill now is that his party didn't have time to read it before it was pushed through Parliament by him and his party. Yes, you heard that right. Boris Johnson fast-tracked his own oven-ready deal through Parliament, and then at the 11th hour is saying, wait, we found a problem in it, we need to introduce new legislation to quote-unquote fix it. So a war of words is taking place between the UK government and the EU, the latter demanding that the legislation be dropped, while the former saying flatly no. This is extremely serious. The European Commission has, since this blew up, advised its EU 27 capitals that there are grounds for the bloc to take legal remedies through the European Court of Justice before the end of the transition period, which would potentially lead to significant fines or trade sanctions. Because the UK is still in the Brexit transition period, the Commission can do this. However, courts are slow, so there's a chance that the ECJ may not actually get to hear these cases before the end of the transition period. So the UK will get away with it? Certainly not. The EU is never in a rush. It likes to take its time. So infringement procedures for facts occurred before the end of the transition period can be brought to the ECJ up to 4 years after the end of the transition. So what would punishment actually look like? Well, the EU court has the potential to impose a lump sum or penalty payments on the UK, or Brussels could use the dispute settlement mechanism under the withdrawal agreement. Remember, the one that Boris Johnson pushed through Parliament. That may allow an arbitration panel to impose financial sanctions. If the UK were to give 2 fingers to this, then the EU would be entitled to suspend its own obligations within the withdrawal agreement and perhaps strip UK citizens living in the EU of their rights and protections. If Boris wants to play hardball, he's playing it with the wrong people. Now, is this an attempt to extract concessions from the EU over trade? If it is, it's a dangerous game. Is Boris Johnson seriously going for no deal instead? Well, considering the government's own impact assessment, that would be insane. So, is Boris Johnson a daredevil, or is he just nuts? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?